save money in becoming more efficient. Electricity, raw materials, water, it all costs money. If you save it, you do good for the environment and you do good for the financial performance of your business as well. Particularly if you save 100,000 ringgit on electricity costs per year, that's straight profit to the bottom line. If you have a 10% margin as a business, you have to increase your turnover by 1 million to get the same profitability effect. So just in normal operations, there is money in going green. Plus, there is increasingly a green consumer there.
Right.
I now represent LOHAS. LOHA stands for Lifestyle of Health and Sustainability. The green and healthy consumers are called the Lohasians.
Right.
They are very famous in the US, Taiwan, Japan, increasingly in Southeast Asia as well. And I was at a product launch 3 months ago of a new Schwarzkopf hair shampoo, eco-friendly hair shampoo. And their main rationale for launching this eco-friendly range of products was the Lohasians. It's an identified consumer group that says, we want a healthy family. We don't want to buy toxic products. We want eco-friendly products. We don't want to damage the environment with our consumption behavior. We only want to buy things that are good for the environment, good for our children, healthy house, healthy home, balanced living. This is a consumer group that is increasingly buying those kind of products, even if they cost a little bit more. If you cater for these consumer groups, you can make money with it.
Right.
Interestingly, one of the products that we highlighted at the forum this morning was actually a handmade dishwash soap from recycled
Handmade.
oil. For hand wash,
Yeah.
dishwash soap. Yeah, it's all handmade. And it is actually from recycled cooking oil, you know. But it is actually being imported now to Japan. You know, it's not available, and it's actually done by
So
an
that's made
organization.
here?
Yes, made by an organization in Penang, made by persons with learning disabilities. In fact, they are so good now. We are saying we can actually import them into Selangor to be trainers. You know, if you want to jumpstart similar enterprises here in Klang Valley. And the thing was, during the discussion, we say, okay, yeah, what are your sources of oil? You know, there was actually palm oil residue. So that is apparently one of the ways is glycerin, and that actually can be used for soap. So we are trying to actually see whether we can network and bring all these people together to see whether we can jumpstart, a cohesion group.
Yeah. One other example that I have is my friend in Penang. He's been making lightweight concrete blocks for the last 4 years. And he has been using them for green buildings. Normally, people's perception is a green
Is
building.
it more expensive?
That was just what I was going to talk about. Actually, the block is slightly more expensive, but if you add up the cost of laying the blocks, the mortar that you need, it works out same or slightly cheaper than the conventional cement brick, because the cement bricks are a lot smaller and you have a lot more area to cover with your mortar because they're not always evenly applied. Plus, there was a case study in Butterworth. I went there and the developer saved 750,000 ringgit on steel bars and structural concrete because the weight of the building was reduced by about 25% to use those lightweight concrete blocks. And when I spoke with the residents, I asked them about their electricity bill. They said, oh yeah, we are a mid-sized family, 2 kids, we have 2 big fridges. Our electricity bill is only 70 ringgit. I said, how come? Oh, we don't really need a lot of aircon because it's cool in this building because of the insulation built into these bricks. You don't need to add an additional insulation layer. The air inside of the bricks is the insulation itself. So they were saving a lot of money, and they were comparing it with the condo that they had, another condo in Penang. They said, our condo in Penang is so hot, we use the aircon all the time. Here it's much nicer, much more comfortable to live.
Right.
So
that's the testimony.
That's the testimony. And there are many other examples, but at the moment we are only beginning to tap into the green economy because people like to do it the way they've always done it. You know, developers like to use the same materials that they've always been using or get the resources from the suppliers that they've been using. So, but there's a change going on. The Green Building Index is a great driver in Malaysia for moving people towards green building certification. So there are all sorts of areas where we see a new emerging green economy coming along. Renewable energy, that's the big game.
Right.
We know as a human population
So
we can't.
it is
Yeah.
huge, this green economy.
It is, it is. Because that's actually a lifestyle, isn't it? A lifestyle for, society. But green, and so as Matthias says, green can also be cost effective. But now we are trying to say, can green be made accessible as well? Can
Especially
green be made
to
inclusive?
the disabled.
Yeah.
Precisely, because look, we have our accessibility bylaws, our uniform building bylaws, which was actually gazetted in the 1990s. But look at our buildings, which has been built, in the past 20 years. Do they follow those bylaws? Are they accessible? Whereas
Right.
the Green Building Index has been in existence for 3 years, and everyone is saying, let's go green. So let's try and see whether we can move both in tandem. I mean, we now have our Persons with Disability Act, which was actually came into force in 2008. So we have, and Malaysia being a signatory and having ratified the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, it makes it even more imperative for us to actually be inclusive in what we do.
So the theme for the forum, in fact, I can read it here. It's from the brochure, Make Green Inclusive, and we have it
Precisely.
also on the buntings around us. Why did you choose this theme, and what does it actually mean? And also the challenges, in fact.
Oh, yes,
we can
definitely.
discuss
I think there
about.
would be challenges, but I think Malaysians, and in fact, the whole world is now becoming more attuned to the needs of persons with disabilities. Because why precisely? I mean, we are all aging. That puts us in that range for more accessible needs.
Right.
And I think in June, the World Health Organizations and the World Bank jointly launched the first World Disability Report, which estimates, well, it's not actually they say that 15% of the world population has some form of disabilities. That's over 1 billion people. That's a big market if you want to look at that as well. And I mean, look at our accident rates, workplace injuries, car accidents. Children born, babies born with disabilities. We have 500,000 live births last year, and the Malaysian Pediatric Association stat says 5% of babies born have certain kind of disabilities. So that would be about 25,000 babies. If 20,000 babies of them survive, that's actually our client base. But we want to get them out of the social welfare basket, put them into independent living.
Very noble movement, in fact. Okay, we'll take another short break and we'll be back. I am also curious as to whether the disabled community, how receptive are they to this green economy and also being entrepreneurs in their fields, especially to make profit as well as to ensure that the planet is not abused or, as you said, Matthias, encroached. Be right back on Hello.
Arts 21.
Too much sugar in our diet is harmful. It can cause heart-related diseases, obesity, and many more. Take lesser sugar for a healthy life. Avoid being a diabetic. Act now. Bernama TV in support of healthier Malaysians.
Yes, welcome back. Make green inclusive. Now, that was the theme at the Challenges Ecopreneur Forum 2011 that was held today on the 20th of September. And this was a focus on disabled people right here in Malaysia. How receptive have they been? We've been talking to Matthias Gelber, who is founder of Eco Warriors Malaysia. And what group is this again, Matthias?
Eco Warriors is an action group on Facebook to deliver
So go to Facebook and find out.
voluntary environmental action on the ground. Like on Sunday, we're doing a tree planting initiative in Shah Alam on the riverbank, close to the Giant and the Bomba place, I think, on Sunday morning. It will kick off at around 8 o'clock, so people can join us there doing some tree planting. So that will be a great action effort where hopefully we can involve some of the people with disabilities as well in the future. This would as well be inclusiveness, doing green action together, reconnecting back with Mother Nature. And you know what surprised me a lot was a couple of weeks ago when I asked that question at the conference, when was the last time you discovered and enjoyed the rainforest, which is one of Malaysia's most amazing treasures. And my friend Edwin, who is a 38-year-old Malaysian, he told me, hey Matthias, I'm a KL city boy, I've never been in a rainforest. So I was quite taken by surprise. And Eco Warriors is about doing green stuff, reconnecting back with Mother Nature.
Great. And this forum that we held, in fact, how was it that you were able to gauge what sort of interest and feedback that you obtained at the forum? Were the people there very receptive towards green economy and also the businesses that can be generated?
Oh, definitely.
all this?
Definitely.